The energy level was high. There are rivals, so everyone's always excited. They're excited, we're excited. So, I was looking at it as more as positive vibes than people beefing and doing things like that. So it was a good.
Nikki, kind of same thing. When you guys went to Kansas State, how were y'all feeling? I mean, you traveled 7 people, right?
I mean, I tried to coach them up, like, hey, we got the right seven, right now. There's a lot of coach speak in that situation, but I certainly think we weren't 100% physically, and we weren't able, because of the nature of the timing of it. We had no practice guys because it was Christmas break. So all we did was get shots up before we left and shots up when we got there. So we didn't drill a whole lot when it came to playing them, just because we'd played North Texas on Wednesday, and then we were just kind of in that mode where we were off on Thursday. And then, it just wasn't a normal preparation because, we didn't have enough to play even 4-on-4 at the time. And we had no practice guys. So it was a challenge.
So are they going to see a different team from you guys this time around?
Well, they should. I mean, I think we should be. We didn't play well. We didn't start well. It hurt us having Queen in foul trouble in that game just because of her size and length against Lee. Although, ironically, Lee had 4 points at the half. We didn't do a great job against their guards in the first half. And then, it was the Ayoka Lee show in the third quarter. But I think we'll be better this time, yeah.
I mean, Alyssa Smith, just the way she's been playing, how are you coaching her up just to keep doing what you're doing at this point?
Yeah, I think she obviously, it's very easy for me when teams are playing man to get her in actions and to get her shots on the floor in spaces that I know she's really comfortable and confident. Zones are different, I mean, you look at Oklahoma, you look at some of the games, like zones, it's hard to run plays to her. It's about her finding space, cutting into open space. And so it's just different, So I think that the more we can play in transition against them, the less we have to worry about where those spaces are at. And I thought that's one of the best things she did on Sunday was run the floor. I mean, she got a lot of transition baskets and put pressure on them, and it's hard to load up on her when she's out in front or she's in a singled up situation. So that doesn't matter, man or zone, if you're running and you're playing with good pace and you're getting stops. And so for us, it's, we'll get her touches as long as we don't turn the ball over and we have great pace.
Jamie, you all played, 80 minutes of pretty intense basketball in 48 hours against Texas, and you closed really strong. In doing that in the third and then the fourth quarter, did you feel a lot of energy? Did you have to, dig deep? Or what did it feel like out there at the end of that when you guys were really the aggressors?
It kind of felt good. Playing them hard and they were playing us hard. It was very physical. I have a lot of bruises and, it was actually a fun game. Probably one of the most fun I've had in a long time in games. And then, playing them at Texas when we had our own little crowd, I think it made me feel a little better, not having just 10 people. Like, it was a whole crowd for us. So I think that also brought a lot of excitement to our team.
Jamie, how do you approach this game? You guys last time, you're trying to get them this time. How do you approach this?
Well, thankfully, we're all healthy. We all feel good. So that's great. We just got to come in with confidence. We're at home now. We have home court advantage, hopefully. But, we just got to shoot the ball well, take care of the ball, and D up.
Jamie, do you look at the standings much? Do you kind of feel that, and look at that and feel that as you chase conference championship?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Once you get wrapped up in that type of things, that's when bad things start happening. So you really just got to focus on yourself, take it a game at a time, and not skip over people like, oh, we'll beat them. So let's just, you always have to just take it a game at a time because, as you can see, even in top 25s, polls are going everywhere. So you really just got to focus on you and your team and not overlook anyone.
Coach, what do you feel like it might be the biggest challenge you guys are facing right now?
Ayoka Lee. You know, I mean, I think that, you know, I remember telling the team before we played them the last time that, you know, she could get 30, you know, and we could still win the basketball game. And I still feel that way. We didn't play well. We didn't shoot the basketball well. You know, we didn't. And I think a lot of that, you know, when you look back, we weren't healthy. You know, we had, you know, 5 of the 7 players that played in that game tested positive for COVID the day we got back. So, you know, we weren't healthy. But Ioka Lee is a problem when you're healthy or you're not healthy. You know, I mean, they know who they are. Kansas State really knows who they are. They know that when she's in the game, that she's going to get the first look, maybe the second, and sometimes the third look. And so, you know, you have to understand what she's good at. You have to simplify to some perspective. And, you know, when you do grab a defensive rebound, you've got to make her run. You know, you've got to make her work as hard as she makes you work on defense. And guarding her isn't a one-person job. It's a team job. It's how good is our ball pressure? How good is our help side? You know, how engaged are we? Do we know where she's at on the floor? Are we too high? Are we too low? And so for us, she's a problem, you know. But I thought in the last game we didn't have enough respect for what their guards were capable of. They're freshmen, but they're very poised. They've played a lot of minutes now, and so I think we have a different level of respect for them all the way across the board.
Nikki, with both you guys in Kansas State chasing Iowa State and Oklahoma right there behind them, does that make this game pretty important for both of y'all?
Every game is important for us, you know. I mean, we haven't changed our goals. We certainly need some help, especially with Oklahoma at this point because they swept us. But we've got to take one game at a time, and we can't stay in the race if we don't win this one. But if we win this one, you know, we don't maybe stay in the race if we lose to West Virginia. So is this game big? Yes, because it's the one that's next. And hopefully we play well tomorrow night. And then it becomes the next most important game is the one that's next up on our schedule. And so that's the only way we can take it. You know, it's not like we're sitting here with a 2-game lead and looking who's in front of us and, you know, what games can we lose and what games can we not. We need to win every game, you know, but we're going to show up and try to win every game. And so no, I think this just is another opportunity. Look, I got to believe every kid in my locker room believes that, you know, we can and should win this game, and that, and losing one to them, you're that much more motivated to come back and compete at an even higher level, to win this one. So, you know, I don't think it's going to take fancy pregame speeches or things like that, to get them excited to play tomorrow night.
Coach, with last week, I mean, you guys had that loss, then you have the ice storm and playing a bunch of games. Is there anything you really learned about your team?
Well, I thought we were pretty good against Texas. You know, when I think about, I'm really proud of them because, you know, coming off Oklahoma, that was a tough loss. It was a tough situation. It was a tough day. You know, we didn't take advantage of it. But to really not practice on Thursday, to play a team like Texas who hadn't played since Saturday and had 5 days to prepare for us, you know, like what we did, especially on Friday in terms of how we executed, how we guarded them. Our student crowd was amazing. Our crowd in general was great, especially considering we still had people that probably were a little worried about it still being icy out on Friday night. And so just proud of the resilience we showed. And then down there, I mean, it was really about, I think the physical kicked in that game more than it did the first game. You know, I mean, it was the third game in 5 days. I know I keep reading 3 games in 6 days, but I can promise you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's 5 games. So that was 3 games in 5 days. And in games that were highly, highly competitive against really, really good opponents. And, you know, I think the physical fatigue showed on Sunday, but we battled through in that second half and made a lot of plays. And Jamie was probably just mad at me that I didn't run the play to her in the corner a third time because the first 2 times it worked pretty well. You know, but I just thought we played hard and we made plays when it mattered down there.
Nikki, this time of year Day initiative. What kind of things is Baylor doing for that?
Yeah, we're excited. I think we're still working on some of those, but it starts with our clinic on Thursday. They've never done that before. We're doing a free clinic. We're certainly asking people to consider donating, but, trying to get Waco's youth over here in the Farrell Center, around our team, around our staff, find a way to promote this game that way. Free T-shirt, free ticket to the game. I think there's giveaways for the game on Saturday, and hopefully, I know it's a busy day for Baylor fans with the men playing with tennis at home. But I think it's a cool initiative, and I think we're still kind of working on some of the logistics of what we're going to do outside of just the Play for Cake clinic that we're doing Thursday night. But definitely want to promote that. I think we've got 60 kids signed up already, and we'd love to have a few more.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.